Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 53 in the book of Hebrews. We've been in a long section in Hebrews chapter 11. It's been fantastic. I thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to call this either the weak become strong or the maker of the strong. The key verse I want us to point us to is how God ends up as making the weak strong. And that probably has some very specific applications in your life today. All right, so here we are. We're in Hebrews chapter 11. Yesterday we admired Samuel for not letting any of God's words fall to the ground. And that's kind of what we're going to do today, is we're going to take these words from Hebrews chapter 11 and not let them fall to the ground. So today's passage is from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 33. I'll start in 32. And what more shall I say? For time would fail to tell me. Oh my goodness. For time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, and of David and Samuel and the prophets. And then here's today's verse. Who through faith conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were made strong out of weakness, became mighty in war, put armies to flight. And in each of these things, there's something that God is doing. That's kind of what we're going to search for. And when we get to made strong out of weakness, we'll pause there. All right, so this is a group of, some of these people are not specifically referred to, so kind of this anonymous group of prophets and judges who, through faith, conquered kingdoms. So there's this physical bravery. In fact, it says it almost 3 times. Conquered kingdoms, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. So there's this physical bravery that's addressed. Then enforced justice. So Samuel, who acted as a judge for decades, had this like a justice circuit where he'd go to various cities and judge the people, and to bring the concept of God's justice into our unjust world. So kind of acknowledging that the Lord is the source of justice. It's a characteristic of God, and when we bring it into our world, it is a godly thing. So the justice system in your country, hopefully, is reflecting the justice that God has bring. All right, next one is obtain promises. So these people, faith is our spiritual conduit before the promises. And it's unusual in this way to always see these promises. So some people, this whole chapter is about people who did not see promises achieved. And we know that because that's what faith is. Faith is doing stuff before you see the promises. And then occasionally the promises do come true. But for the most part, you have to wait until you die and everything's made right in the end. So there is some atypical things. So miracles are rare. Raising from the dead, healings are unusual. And the point of Hebrews frequently is faith in God, whether he does or does not do these miracle things. All right, so then next one that's mentioned is quenching the power of fire. So everyone I know that's either been involved in the fire personally or is involved in the topic of firefighting or fire safety is extremely respectful of the power of fire. And here, to be of faith and see its power quenched is really remarkable. So we have to kind of pause in awe of that. Another thing that these people of faith did is they escaped the edge of the sword. And again, this is not to be underestimated in our, we talk about, hey, the edge of the sword. And, I've never had a sword flashed against me. And this is not metaphorical for them. This is an actual edge of the sword that they're talking about, exerted by a political power or a national power or maybe a tribal power or personal power. So it's the real deal. All right, so the last one that I want to talk about and emphasize especially today is we're made strong out of weakness. So this perhaps refers to Gideon, who was found at the beginning of the story as weak and hiding and conquered for decades. And then the Lord addresses him and says, "O mighty man of valor." So he's identified and seen as as powerful. So how do you see me is part of the question. How do you see? How does God see you? What do you have for me, and what vision do you have for me, Lord? So think about today. What is your field of battle? Likely, it's going to be scary. So let's assume characteristics. You will probably have not had previous success in it. It'll be an area of perceived weakness. So whatever you're considering of God, it'll be hard, and you'll have some fear in going towards it. You're not going to see a way out, or at least no easy way out. So the circumstances will be bad. That's kind of the point. And God may seem actually far from it. So how you think yourself, you'll be thinking of yourself as the least person, the least likely candidate to address this. Well, it's not how the circumstances find you. It's how does the Lord see you? So you can write that down. It's not how the circumstances find you. It's how the Lord sees you. So how are you before him? What is his vision for you? What is he calling you to be? And to what strength might the Lord be calling you? To what weakness might be the Lord calling you from? And to what obedience he will give you the strength. He will make you ready to obey. So God is in the making business. He is the key and the source of this mechanism. The passage says that these people were made strong out of weakness. So rather, I want to focus not on the strength and not on the weakness, but on the maker. So God is in the making business. So how will you be made strong? That all has to do with the Lord. So we can focus on the task, but really it's the who is in the task. And that's what I want to leave us with. So may you see him in the making. May you know him. May you yield to him as he makes. He is the maker of the mighty. They all start weak and become strong, but it is before this maker. Let's acknowledge him and stand before our maker today. Thanks for listening.